Hello and welcome to Man's Model Moments. Today I'm going to be looking at ICM's recent release of the 1/35th scale German Field kitchen, or Gulaschkanone, based on their 2014 tool of the Lastkraftwagen. Full disclosure, this kit was sent to me by ICM for review, but I hope you know by now that that won't stop me saying what I truly think about the kit. Of course, it comes in ICM's standard top glossy outer facade with the artwork, under which is their sturdy flip-top box, which I still think is pretty much at the top of the game for packaging. Inside the box it's pretty full, with a large bag containing everything inside. Below that is the ubiquitous ICM paint guide, and under that is the instruction booklet, which as you can see contains the decal sheet as it falls out. Taking a closer look at the instructions, they are in booklet format with glossy full colour outer. Opening them up, you can see a full set of sprue frame layouts. Continuing past these, you get into the isometric view CAD line drawing instructions, which are about as clear as you get in modelling, with sub-assemblies called out where needed. Assembly follows a logical order from the chassis up, and ICM give you a lot of detail here, including the entire engine. The rest of the instructions are very clear and show each of the assembly steps in an easy to follow manner, something common to all of the recent instruction books from ICM that I've seen. The field kitchen itself is a separate wheeled unit, and you also get a host of boxes and sacks of food and all sorts of bits to go with it. This is just screaming diorama at me, and I'm sure we'll see this featured in future model shows. The last couple of sheets feature the full colour painting guides. Though as a non-combat vehicle these aren't as extensive as AFVs, there are really only a couple of variations. The decal sheet contains the number plates, dashboard instruments and so on for the truck, but it's also fairly extensive in covering all of the stenciling and labelling for the boxes of supplies too. The sheet is in perfect register with good clarity, opacity and detail, so nothing to detract from anything here. Even a cursory inspection of the main cab frame shows how far ICM have progressed in recent years. This is perfectly cast in their usual mid-grey plastic and features some really fine parts. The second sprue only reinforces that impression with great moulding of the steering wheel and engine parts. There are further examples of the finesse in some of the parts presented here, along with some very nice detail too. The field kitchen sprue itself is a separate and strange shape, but also has beautiful detail on it. The way that the wooden wheels of the kitchen have been moulded is quite clever, and they look absolutely stunning. The side panel sprues continues this pattern of crisp, nicely detailed parts. The sprue with the floor of the truck is unsurprisingly similar and has delicate engraved detail for the floorboarding that you'll see when we get to the close-ups. Once again, there are also extremely finely cast parts present here too. For the wheel hubs you get 2 duplicated sprues, which seems to be a common practice in many Ukrainian kits, and it's a practice I quite like as it often gives you spares to work with. Now you also get 2 sprue frames of supplies, boxes, sacks and bottles of provisions, which as I said before make this kit absolutely ideal for the diorama builder. These all appear to be very nicely rendered as well. We then have the transparencies, which are separately bagged and are crystal clear. Not much more to say about these here at the moment. Lastly, we have my least favourite item in the kit, the vinyl tyres. I know some people love them, but I'm a little on the fence to be honest. They can be a mare to work with and they don't take paint and weathering in the same way as plastic. Honestly, I wish these were just an option and plastic tyres were included on the sprues too. So let's take a look at the plastic up close and start with the transparencies. As I mentioned before, these are very clear and feature the overlapping glass panels old cars and trucks had as a simple way of opening for ventilation. Looking at the stores, you can see the detail moulded in here for all of the items. I think it would have been nice to have one of the sacks in a slightly different orientation, slightly folded over or something, but that's nitpicking. Moving to the wheels, these are extremely nice, with crisp, sharp detail. Here's that truck bed I mentioned previously, showing all that grooving, as well as the superstructure either side with all its precise geometric casting and riveting. The stamped metal mouldings on the side of the truck are very well captured, and given that these were well used and travelled service vehicles, I can imagine some great weathering on this kit. Unsurprisingly, the same level of delicate detail is present on the superstructure on this frame as well. Now for the new centrepiece of this kit, the field kitchen itself. I hope you can see here the level of detail and finesse on these wheels. It's really mind-blowing. It kind of makes me wonder what an ICM steamroller might look like, all painted up in green, brass and gold. Anyway, you can see all the elements here are very nicely done, including the frame with its wishbone suspension. Here's the steering wheel I mentioned earlier, and this is probably the frame that really demonstrates how good ICM are right now. Look at the suspension and the plethora of very finely moulded items here. The inclusion of the engine and the radiator here also demonstrates the kind of effort ICM are putting into their kits too, and it's pretty impressive. Here are the main cab parts in close-up so you can see some of that smaller detail. Obviously there's not too much since this was meant to be a simple to manufacture truck, but you can also see how crisp things are, like the body superstructure for the canvas cover, for example. I'm not generally excited by trucks, and ICM has issued this 2014 tool in a number of different iterations with additional parts, such as an ambulance, a French variant, and even Tamiya released it with a Flak 37 gun. This, however, seems a much more interesting release than most because the field kitchen adds a real human element and seems absolutely ideal to be the centerpiece of a diorama. I can't find fault with any of the plastic elements of the kit, and there's also much to praise. Crispness of the moulding, finesse of parts, and detail and general level of included elements. If I have reservations, they are for the vinyl tyres, which I personally find hit and miss, and the fact all the sprues are in a single bag. These don't really even register on the general scale of even minor grumbles, however, and I'm really looking forward to creating a diorama with this kit, so make sure you're subbed with notifications on to see when that lands. In conclusion, I'd absolutely recommend this kit to any 1/35th scale modeler, especially somebody looking for something a little bit different or to add interest to a larger diorama. Its complexity might put off a novice modeler, but knowing the way ICM kits tend to go together, I'd say you wouldn't need too much experience to give this kit a shot. I guess I'll be able to advise you a bit better on that front when I built it myself. That's all for this instalment of Man's Model Moments. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more like it, and share this video with others you think would also enjoy it. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and if you're feeling generous then I also have a Patreon, which is absolutely the best way of helping me to grow the channel and produce more content like this. With that, I hope you have plenty of modelling moments of your own, and I look forward to welcoming you on the next video.